Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker, and thank you to all those who've been involved in bringing this debate forward, including my honourable friend. The coastal coalfield of West Cumbria stretches 14 miles from Whitehaven up the coast to Maryport. The coal seams in my constituency were mined for over 420 years before the last mine closed in the 1980s. The miners and collieries of West Cumbria helped to fuel Britain's economy for centuries and sparked numerous innovations. Entire towns and communities in my constituency were built out of the coal, iron and steel industries. But our mining history is also marked by terrible tragedy. Over 1,700 men, women and children are estimated to have been killed while mining coal in Whitehaven, with multiple major disasters, including at Wellington, Hague and William Pitts. These terrible incidents are remembered to this day by members of the Pit Crack West Cumbria group, who organise annual remembrance events and create a community for retired miners. I'd like to put on the record my thanks to Dave Craddock and Joseph Ritson and others who are involved in this group. I'd also like to pay tribute to Patrick Robertson and others working to keep the memory of Workington's mining heritage alive with their campaign for a mining memorial in Workington, which I wholeheartedly support. Despite these tragedies, West Cumbria remembered our mining history proudly, and in an area which has witnessed the loss of not just our mining industry, but also over time the generation of new nuclear power, despite being the site of the world's first civil nuclear power station. That loss is felt profoundly. That loss, when not replaced, does something to the psychology of a community. People yearn for work that provides a sense of shared purpose.
Do you give away on that point?
I'd gladly give away on that point.
I thank the honourable member for giving away. He's very generous with his time. He speaks very passionately about coal mining in Cumbria and in Whitehaven. Of course, he will be aware that there is a chance in Whitehaven to open a metallurgical coking mine, which will produce coke to produce steel and cement in this country. So will he have a word with his own government and persuade them to open this coal mine?
I'm glad the honourable member intervened, perfectly timed in fact, because it is in these communities where the easy soundbites of populists can take hold. So our response, and I'll answer his question in time, our response must be economic revival in coalfield communities that can generate a renewed sense of purpose and pride. The cynical promise from the last government to my constituents was to reopen a coal mine that they knew would never likely happen. They told my community that the best they could hope for was jobs in a dying industry, jobs that would be tied to exporting a volatile commodity that lacked a domestic market. My job, the government's job, is to put other options on the table. I've produced an industrial plan for West Cumbria, and since the election, I've commissioned and updated a more detailed version of that plan that I will be publishing shortly. It sets out how we might secure new nuclear, upgrade the Port of Workington, and fuel new advanced manufacturing and industrial jobs in the area. A plan that would revive and diversify West Cumbria's economy and boost our sense of pride, looking to the future, not the past, for the answers that my community deserve. These plans only stand a chance of success because we have a government committed to an industrial strategy, a government serious about new nuclear power generation, as announcements earlier today indicate, and a government that recognises the vital role of upgrading our ports and has set the National Wealth Fund on a footing to support those initiatives. The government's growth mission, actively backing these kinds of plans, offers an answer to revive our coalfield communities. I look forward to continuing to work with government to deliver this change for my community, and would be keen to invite the Minister, when he responds, to consider an invitation to Cumbria, particularly to West Cumbria, to talk about not only these plans but also the opportunity that the recently announced devolution deal might offer to revive the prospects of jobs and economic opportunity in my community.